Welcome. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. There it is, Binging with Babish, the second cookbook from the author and host of the YouTube series of the same name, Andrew Weir. Bookends in Ridgewood, the same venue that hosted Sasha Pieterse, a Pretty Little Liars for Sasha and Good Taste, which, needless to say, is near and dear to my heart, is expecting a huge turnout for the 6 o'clock signing this evening. Andrew's videos for the concept alone might be worth checking out. However, how does he fare in the world of cookbook publishing? We'll find out as CSR reviews his first foray into literary stardom. Eat what you watch. It's all ahead.
This delightful 132-page romp through the foods of fiction features fantastic photography, fanciful fets, film fanaticism, and many other F-words. Not that one, other ones. It features some of the favorite recipes from the show, as well as endearing tributes to the great moments of food in movies. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I'm looking forward to meeting more of you at book signings, barbecues, bar mitzvahs, and other B-words. Not that one. Other ones.
This video was supposed to be included in my Odyssey to the Oscars series earlier this year. It's my annual tradition on TSR to review items based around the Academy Awards. However, my computer crashed and was down for 3 months, so it really put a damper on things. I was going to save it for next year's Odyssey to the Oscars, but then I found out that Bookends was hosting Andrew Weir for a signing of Binging with Babish, so if there was ever a time to review this, it's now. Plus, in its place for next year's Odyssey to the Oscars, we have TCM movie night menus. Dinner and drink recipes inspired by films we love from the Darlington siblings, Tananya and Andre. Or Tananya. Tananya? Tanya? Whatever. Tell me, Miss Darlington, how you pronounce your first name. This is a thrift store purchase. This is not. If you want to know how much I paid for this, go watch my 12 Days of Deliveries unboxing video. I'll link it below, and you'll find out how much I paid for it through Amazon. This is a thrift store purchase, and it keeps with our mission to bring Hollywood home on a budget because we are the Thrift Store Rundown. But same rules apply to Amazon purchases like this. I am selecting recipes in this cookbook that were featured in films that have won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. We also have a couple foreign language and Best Animated Feature winners. So let's get started. First up, we have American Beauty's Asparagus with Hollandaise. And for every recipe in here, you get a photograph which recreates a scene from the film with the recipe, and a quote from one of the characters. Then I told my boss to go fuck himself, and then I blackmailed him for almost $60,000. Pass the asparagus. Well, you deserve a special reward, a decadent hollandaise sauce with a poached egg topped with freshly ground black pepper. A little Chef John moment. Next up is the 1979 Oscar winner, Kramer vs. Kramer. Bourbon French Toast Sticks. What you don't know is that French toast is always voted. You go into the best restaurants anywhere in the world and you see voted French toast, you get more bites that way, right? Just be careful not to get caught topping this with ice cream. Otherwise, you might be beaten and sent to your room, like little Kramer. Or, like Peter Griffin and Tom Tucker, I finally understand where that Mother Tucker scene in Family Guy was from. This, Kramer vs. Kramer. This is Poached Lobster with lemon butter sauce from 1977 Oscar winner Annie Hall, a Woody Allen creation. We should have gotten steaks. They don't have legs, and they don't run around, says Alvy Singer. Correction, steaks, as you know, come from beef, which comes from cows, and they do have legs. They don't run, but they do a fine deal of walking. This is Day in Sucklefides. If I butchered that, I'm incredibly sorry. This is Babette's Feast. It's the 1987 foreign language winner, and it's the first Danish film, or Polish film, to have won in that category. No quote for this one, but it is a poultry-based dish, and it requires frozen puff pastry, which is awesome to pull out for any Oscar night entertaining. It requires chicken livers, fresh pork sausage, and 1 Cornish game hen, which is at the center of attention here, among other ingredients for this. Oh, and truffle oil, too. It's no longer a luxury to get truffle oil anymore. Now it's a necessity for stuff like this. Inspired by the Best Animated Feature winner, Ratatouille, nominated for Michael Giacchino's original score, we have confit bialdi. It's a variation of the titular recipe, Ratatouille, from Thomas Keller, acclaimed chef and culinary consultant to not only Ratatouille, but Spanglish. By the way, Spanglish's contribution is world's greatest sandwich. It's a BLT with a poached egg. Remy, the preternaturally talented young rat chef in Ratatouille, is propelled to the title of the finest chef in France, thanks to this vegetable dish he serves to a food critic. Uh-oh. That must be the health department safety enforcement team coming by to inspect restaurants right now around New Jersey. Rats cooking in a restaurant? That is so Pixar, but it is so illegal in IRL. And it's very saddening. The French will be quick to correct you if you were to call Remy's signature dish Ratatouille. Again, that's because the dish in the movie is actually an interpretation concocted by none other than the esteemed chef Thomas Keller, who served as the movie's food consultant. Attractive and delicious. By the way, this photograph perfectly recreates the food critic's trying of this recipe and having a flashback to a childhood memory where he was just so saddened, and then his heart really lifted when he had his interpretation of Ratatouille made by his mother when he was a kid, and he gobbled it down greedily. It sort of softened even the most cold-hearted antagonist, that being the food critic, into cracking a smile and greedily chowing down. It is one of my favorite Pixar films, right alongside Cars and Toy Story, and definitely worth checking out. And that leads us to one of 10 Oscar-worthy food performances, Confit bialdi, which you've just seen from Ratatouille. This film, one of the greatest achievements in food porn to date, is made all the more impressive by the fact that much of the cooking is done by a rat. Granted, it's a squeaky clean Pixar rat, but it almost seems like a dare to write a script starring a restaurant's and diner's greatest enemy. Even more impressive is a stack of tomatoes and squash as its culinary centerpiece, which convincingly molts the heart of an icy food critic. You never wanted to eat your vegetables so badly. No wonder it won an Academy Award. That's like the staple for all foodies to watch. And that's not just in animation, that's in all foodie-related films. This is not Moonlight, but it is the only LGBT-based film to win Best Picture at the Oscars, defeating La La Land in a very historic manner. Bola a la plancha, which I think would definitely connect with my mother's roots. Moonlight is the story of a young man's struggle growing up gay in one of Miami's roughest neighborhoods. The movie also happens to capitalize on the vibrancy of the city's local Latin American cuisine, using food as a metaphor for care and genuine intimacy. Bola a la plancha becomes a way for an old friend to nourish a broken man. And it is a great example of how simple ingredients become elevated when they're prepared with love. So we have chicken here with some Spanish onions, we have beans, and we have American rice. And it's all topped with cilantro. One chef special coming right up, says Kevin. And that is indeed a chef special right there. Our final Oscar-worthy food performance, the number one, would be all the food from Big Night. The centerpiece film for any foodie community. The culinary payoff in a small, quiet film about a pair of Italian brothers in 1950s New Jersey is one for the books. And any top 10 list would be incomplete without this Louis Prima feat. Or fete. With dishes ranging from familiar to fascinating, it's a meditation on food as an event, a unifier, and an expression of fraternity. Despite the fact that their guest of honor never arrives, brother restaurateurs Primo and Secondo exercise no restraint. They lavish course after course upon the delighted guests, despite knowing that it may be the last meal their restaurant serves. They are, first and foremost, passionate about food, its ability to widen perspectives, charm palates, and gather friends and foes. In short, it's a catalyst for great things. My mother was a terrible cook. A patron sobs into the empty plates after the meal concludes. It's a throwaway joke in the script, but it's also the reason why Big Night is the greatest food film of all time. It's all about the importance of food, and nobody knows that better than former effects artist Andrew Weir, who quit his day job to pursue YouTube content creation and cooking as his true passion and full-time job. This is a partial listing of films mentioned in this book and their corresponding recipes. And this is the guy responsible for bringing it all together, Andrew Weir. His channel will be linked in the description, and I would love to hear stories of you meeting Andrew tonight at Bookends or any other time you have met him in the comments below. 5 out of 5. This is a cookbook for movie lovers, a cookbook for lovers of pop culture, a cookbook for lovers of food. It's a cookbook you're bound to devour each and every time you read it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the thrift side.